Oh, happy, really happy. I just love being with my family, and I love music. I guess music's always been in my life. Dad would put on the record, turn it up really loud, and then Mum would say, turn it down, that's too loud. But we kids loved it. Mum always played the organ, and so she was keen for us to learn to play the piano, which my brother and I both learnt. And even now, when he comes over, we play duets, and we have a lot of fun because, we make a lot of mistakes nowadays. When they told me we were going to migrate, I thought, oh no, oh, I'd hate that. To me, it was the end of the world. I thought it was awful. But, what do? You've got to go with your family. So that's what happened. Because we were sponsored by the Dutch Presbyterian Church in Adelaide, we ended up in a communal house with 3 other families. And we only had a suitcase each of clothes. Anyway, so I started going to Marian High School. My English wasn't all that fantastic. We had assembly every week, and I hated assembly. And I really rebelled, which wasn't in my nature at all. We all had to stand up and say, I am an Australian. I love my country. I honour my Queen. And one day I thought, no, I don't agree with any of that. So I didn't say anything. I landed up in front of the 2 headmistresses, and they said, well, you come to our school, you will say those things. I said, but I'm not an Australian, and I'm not very happy. I'm very homesick. They just could not understand that, or they didn't want to understand. You shall say every week those things. So what do you do then? We've been on quite a few cruises over the years. And usually you finish up with dancing and at the end of the night. And there'd be a few favourite songs that we dance to. And when we sing those, that brings back those lovely memories. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, Mum was very homesick, so Dad said, right, I'm going to send you back to Holland. In 1959, she was away for 6 months. Anyway, Mum missed us terribly, and we missed her, of course, and the phone was too expensive, so they wrote a lot. Anyway, Mum came back. She couldn't wait to get back, and when she got back, she said, oh, then I think she was cured. Anyway, slowly but surely, I started liking it here in Australia. And my first job was at MS McLeod. Yeah, I learnt lots of things up there. So typing was one thing, and I wanted to go on the switchboard. I always loved the switchboard. So I said, can I work on the switchboard? No, your English isn't good enough, and you've got a very heavy accent. So I was so disappointed, but yeah. Then I got to know Keith, and that was while we were still going to the Dutch church. So I remember our first date was with Tony and Joan, and we went bowling. And I'd never bowled before, and I thought, oh, I don't want to go bowling. Not really. I've never bowled before. So, but they said, oh, no, you'll be all right. Anyway, no, it didn't go all that well, and I thought, oh, I'll never see him again, So anyway, no, it worked out all right. We got married, and the children started arriving. That was a lovely time. I started making a lot more friends through kindy, and some of those friends, we're still friends. So I think friends are the sunshine of life. And family too, yeah. Good music gives me a really good feeling. And it doesn't always have to be classical music. It can be ABBA music. And if I have to do housework, which, yeah, you have to sometimes, I'll put on a good CD and away, and it makes such a difference when you've got music around you. Our first trip was in 1979. I didn't really want to go, but Keith said, no, I want to go and I want you to come with me. So that was a 6-week trip over in Holland, and we visited all the family. Yeah, it was great. On our trips, Keith was always so eager and he'd be ahead of me. And yeah, one funny thing was we were on the train in Holland and I didn't quite know where he was. The conductor came along, where's your ticket? I said, in my best Dutch, I said, look, I'm sorry, but my husband's got my tickets. And he said, yeah, I've heard that story before. And I thought, ah. And just at that moment, Keith came through the doors and I thought, ah. Oh, goodness me. I said, why? Where were you? Yeah, Keith was always ready for the next adventure, whereas I like to relax and unwind and, just perhaps enjoy the moment a little bit more. I love having my china cabinet because I've got a whole lot of things from overseas in there, little knickknacks. Venice, Finland, Austria, St. Michel, and London, of course. And if it hadn't been for Keith, I would have never seen those countries. We've got a brilliant piano in our hall here, and I love playing that piano. How does it make me feel? Oh, happy, really happy. Oh, it's fantastic. I think music's a wonderful thing. Music makes the world go round.